Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. Thank you so much for coming back if you've been here before. It has been quite a few, I want to say weeks, maybe a couple of months since I last posted. So if you're still around, thank you so much. If you are new here, stick around. It may get interesting. So I wanted to apologize because I kind of took some time off unexpectedly. I was dealing with some things and some very serious imposter syndrome where I was comparing myself and like people don't care what I have to say. There are so many great YouTube tarot readers and it was just really getting to me and I was in my own way, in my own head. But I am here because today I woke up and I decided I really wanted to do this reading just to share it with whoever wants to see it, whoever is guided to see it. So I am here. I am back for now. Hopefully I can continue to create some videos, but I've been hanging out over on Patreon. If you want to check that out, the link is in the description box and kind of just doing some Etsy website readings. Both of those are also in the description box. So all that to say, I hope you are well. I hope you are doing great. And I hope you are not dealing with any imposter syndrome or anything like it. But today we are going to be doing urgent messages that are meant to find you. And that was kind of, I woke up and I was inspired to record this. So hopefully it will help at least one person. And if it did, that's all I can ask for, right? So we have 3 piles. And this kind of just happened for me today where I was going to use crystals and I ended up flipping over the cards, the goddess cards, and allowing those to be the choices or the options. So pile number 1 is going to be Morrigan, pile number 2 is going to be Rhiannon, and pile number 3 is going to be Nemetona. I believe that's how you say that. I am probably butchering it. If I am, feel free to correct me in the comments below. But let's get started. Take a few minutes to ground center yourself. Pause the video if you need some more time. But let's get started with the reading. Hello, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you were drawn to this Morrigan card there with release, permission to rest. And the Morrigan, we're going to try to place this right there. Does that work? I believe so. And the Morrigan, actually I'm going to place this over here. And the Morrigan, if I can get to that part, she is a dark goddess of war. She is a shapeshifter, and she's very much connected to witches and those that identify as witches. So we're going to see what messages come up here. And like I said in the intro, I was not intending for this to be messages from a specific goddess, but it kind of happened that I flipped over the card and allowed the goddess card to be the option. So we'll see what else comes out. But this is supposed to be urgent messages meant to find you right now. What do you need to know right now? And we're going to take a look at what comes up. As a reminder, it's a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. And we're going to start with the tarot cards and work our way over. So we have the King of Pentacles. Some of you may have been working very hard. Knight of Cups and Strength card. Okay, so what is going on for my pile number 1? First things first is I am getting that sense of overwhelmed. I am getting that sense of perhaps you've been doing too much. You've been trying to keep up with a lot. As I'm recording this, it's March 2022. And there is a lot happening in the world. And the energies, the energies are so heavy right now because there's so much happening. And because of this, many of us who consider ourselves to be sensitive, right? Sensitive to energy, sensitive, we can pick up on things, empaths, highly sensitive people, whatever you want to call it. It's been a very tough couple of weeks because there's a lot happening in the collective. There's a lot still happening from what started 2 years ago to a lot happening globally. That being said, it feels like this is kind of a twofold message for my pile number 1s. It feels like there's a lot happening in your own life, and there's also a lot happening in the collective. And I do feel that my pile number 1s, you are someone who's very sensitive, very intuitive, very spiritually gifted. For some of you, you do have a special connection to the Morrigan. You do work with her. You are able to work with your energy. You are someone who you may consider yourself to be a sorceress, a sorcerer, a witch, whatever you want to identify as. There's definitely this sense of magic and intuitive and even psychic gifts for some of you, for many of you, actually. So you've been trying to work very hard, and you have been working very hard. And for some of you, you're working on two things. And one of those things is like work, career, some sort of project, some sort of business. And the second thing is some sort of creative project or just trying to develop your spiritual gifts. And you're kind of reaching a point where you are exhausted, where you are, you need a little bit of a rest. Now, for some of my pile number ones, there's also a need here to kind of take a step back and just allow things to be. Even though I don't have this card here, I'm kind of getting the Four of Swords energy for this pile. And I think that you are someone who's incredibly resilient, incredibly strong. We do have the Strength card here. And I feel that for some of you, you are kind of the pillar in your community, in your family, in your friend group. You're the one that kind of keeps it together. You hold it together. You try to be strong for other people. And this is kind of coming in and saying, it's time to relax. It's time to take a step back and take care of yourself. It's okay to do that. It's okay to take care of yourself. It's okay to do some self-care for this pile. It's not only okay, it is encouraged because you need it at this time. For some of you, there's a promotion in work coming in, or if you have your own business, there is a boost in your clientele, in your sales, in whatever it is that you do. But right now, it's the time to take a little bit of a step back and do something for yourself. Again, self-care. And for some of you, self-care looks like doing something creative, maybe writing something, maybe, pulling out an adult coloring book and doing some coloring, or maybe you are, you can do your own painting, your own drawing type of thing. But taking a step back and reconnecting to yourself, recharging your batteries, and understanding that the next step is coming, but that right now you are being given the opportunity and the encouragement to take some time out. For some of you, you are going through a dark night of the soul, and things feel very heavy right now. But again, channel that into something that you can do for yourself. Some of you are feeling trapped. There is a message coming in that you are protected, you are being watched over, everything is okay, all is well. I'm getting that. That could be for one specific person. Let's see what we have with the angels among us. We have Archangel Zadkiel with Mercy, Violet Flame, Transmutation. Yeah, this is my very spiritual pile. Some of you are alchemists, others of you, again, witches, sorcerers, sorceress, I believe it's one of them. But definitely some of you definitely have a magical practice. You could do rituals, you could do manifestation work, but transmutation, allowing things to transform. And we have that sense of release. If you are holding on to something, it's time to let it go. Because if you are holding on to something, I feel like you already know what this is and you know that it's not helping you. It's not in your highest good to hold on to it. The violet flame, again, I am a being of violet fire. I am the purity God desires. That is a violet flame mantra, or at least one of them, or a decree, you can call it. Use it, work with it. I highly recommend doing 108 times for 108 days, and I promise you, your life will change, your life will be transformed. Just make sure that you start with some sort of protection prayer when you do that, is my advice to you if you feel the need to. Then we have Guru Ram Das with humility, spiritual practice, elevation. And if you have not heard the podcast, there is an amazing podcast by Guru Ram Das that you can listen to if you feel called to, especially as you work through your day, because I feel like this is a very busy pile. And right now, it does feel like my pile number one is in a very spiritual area of your life. Like you're trying to figure out not only physically or in the tangible world, but in the spiritual world. And I feel like your work is very much close to your spirituality. It's very much connected to your spirituality. Some of you could be doing something that's, you could be a spiritual teacher, you could be a Reiki master, you could be some sort of energy healing practitioner, spiritual coach. You could be a tarot reader, oracle card reader, astrologer, numerologist, something along those lines. But at the very least, my pile number one, right now you're figuring out your spiritual practice, what that means to you and what you want it to look like. And we have, 7 plus 2 is 9, and then we have 10. So we have 9 and 10. And we also have the Morrigan here with release and permission to rest. So you are in a place where you are closing cycles out. You are letting go. You are transmuting. You are transitioning. You are, there's a chapter coming to an end so a new one can open for my pile number ones. Let's see what we have here. And we have strength of vulnerability. True power lies at the root of a perceived weakness. And we do have strength here. So true power lies at the root of a perceived weakness. What are you seeing as your weakness, pile number one? We'll talk about that in a minute. And responding, not reacting. The only control we have is how we respond to the hand we are dealt. So this is kind of saying, we can't necessarily control what happens, but we can definitely control how we react to it. I'm going to try to put that there. It's going to not look so great, but let's do it. So for my pile number ones right now, you're kind of working through some things. Again, a lot of transition, a lot of spiritual energy to this, and almost a sense of overwhelm, almost a sense of needing to channel some of your energy, some of your ideas into something. And you're being asked to be vulnerable at this time, excuse me, because you are starting to manifest something that's going to be long lasting in your life. And you're manifesting something with connection with your spiritual team and your higher self. Now, be careful what you give your energy to. Be careful with what you pour your energy into. Remember, responding, not reacting. The only control we have is how we respond to the hand we are dealt. Sometimes life is not going to be fair. That is the, simple truth. It's not always going to be fair. It's not always going to be what we want it to be. We do have power in how we react, right? We do have power in what we make of it. When life gives you lemon, make lemonade. And that takes a lot of strength and it takes a lot of power, because instead of sulking, instead of being sad about what has happened and what has been given to you, it's about creating something completely new with it. And my pile number ones, you are magical. You are an alchemist, you are a witch, you are whatever you want to call it. You do have the power of manifestation and the power of manipulating energy. So this is saying no matter what's happening right now, and if for some of you you're feeling overwhelmed because things aren't going exactly your way, this is a reminder that you get to decide what you are going to do with the hand that you are dealt, with the cards that you are dealt. You get to decide what you're going to do. And this is about you being vulnerable with yourself. And even when you see something as a weakness, when you see something as, something that happened to you and not for you, you still get to react. You still get to decide how you will react and how you will play your cards. And that there's power in that. And you are a powerful being. If something is not going the way that you thought it was meant to or it was supposed to, it's because that's not how it was supposed to happen. There's something else out there for you. And it's about allowing yourself, releasing the hold that you have on that thing, on that idea, on that expectation. For some of you, it's, what I thought I was going to be doing for a living or where I thought I was going to be at this age. Releasing that so that you can create something with what you do have. And then we have cycles. Everything has its right time. Honor the cycles of your body. Tune in to the moon's magic. And the Morrigan is connected to the moon. And then we have courage. You are safe. Fear is an illusion. Set strong boundaries. It's very interesting because I got this message of all is well. Remember earlier I said all is well. I do feel this coming in. All is well. Everything is okay. You are okay. You're being watched over. For some of you, Archangel Michael is working with you very closely. For others of you, it's Archangel Azrael. Take that as it resonates. But you are safe, you are courageous, you have exactly what it is that you need to get to where you want to be. You're in a cycle and you're ready to break this cycle. Also, moon magic for this pile. We recently had the Pisces new moon. There was something that you were thinking of or asking for that will be granted, and it's happening behind the scenes. I feel 3 to 6, so I'm going to say 3 to 6 months. For some of you, not many of you, it could be 3 to 6 weeks. Let's see what we have for self-care. Giving compassion. Let yourself be open to the experience of extending compassion to another person or animal. Notice your desire for them to be happy, at peace, and at ease. How do you look at them to convey warmth and care? What is your tone of voice? Smile gently, and as you breathe out, notice the sensation of giving compassion. And then we have forgive, and I feel like this is forgiveness for self. Also, for my pile number ones, I think having flowers or working with flower essences would be very, very helpful to you. And to, kind of releasing. Lavender coming in very strongly. Pink roses, sunflowers, daisies. Yeah, that's what I'm getting. So flower essences or just having flowers in the home could be very helpful. I'm getting for this pile wearing red. The color red would be very helpful. And just allowing yourself to kind of take a nap. Let's see self-care that we have here for this pile. Look for fairies. And for me, the look for fairies cards is kind of inviting you to connect to your creativity, to your imagination, to find the magic, to find what's possible. Because when we think of fairies, right, we're thinking of magical beings. We're thinking of, our childhood, the magic that is out in the forest. For some of you, going out into nature, going out for a hike if it's safe for you to do so, going out and spending time outdoors, going for a walk. At the very least, connecting to the inner child, connecting to what's possible. Instead of thinking of what hasn't worked or what isn't possible at this point, why don't you allow yourself to imagine what can be and get excited for what can happen and what will happen for you? For this pile, urgent messages coming in as a recap. Connect to your creativity, channel your energy into something, do something for yourself, self-care. You may be feeling overwhelmed, you may have a lot going on. Reconnect to your intuition. Reconnect to self-care. Take care of yourself. Know that everything is well, that you are well. And make the best out of what you have been handed, because this is the hand you were meant to have. And it's happening for a reason. Now, what that reason turns into is up to you. And there is so much power in that pile number one. All right, pile number one. That is all I have for you. If you like the video, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share it if you think it's worth sharing. Let me know what you thought in the comment section. If you'd like to book a personal reading, that information is in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Hello, pile number two. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you were drawn to this beautiful goddess, Rhiannon. I believe I'm saying that correctly. And she is the queen of the fae or the fairies, a goddess of creativity, very closely connected to the horse, which we see there with her, which the horse is all about freedom, liberation. It's about, finding our own stride, kind of going on our own. And again, finding our freedom, liberation, and again, a lot of creativity here. And that's why we have on the card itself, it says the muse, creative inspiration. So as I said in the intro, this was not meant to be a goddess reading. This is just urgent messages, what you need to hear right now. And it so happened that one of the cards flipped over, and I decided to keep those cards flipped over upwards. And those were going to be the choices, right? So we'll see. You may have a connection to this goddess. It could be that your message has to do with creativity because your card did come out. At the very least, it's about connecting to some, maybe seeking your freedom, or you're, seeking more time alone. We'll see what the message is, but as a reminder, it's a general reading. So let's get started. Let's see here. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. The Sun. So we have Rhiannon with the Muse, creative inspiration, and now we have the Sun, which is all about creativity, right? The High Priestess. We're going to talk about this. So far, 2 majors and Justice. 3 majors for my pile number 2s. Very interesting. So let's talk about this. Because you have the High Priestess, which is number 2, and you have Justice, which is 11, but 1 + 1 = 2. So you have 2, 2, and you are pile number 2, which is 2, 2, 2. Or also 2 + 2 = 4, which 4 + 0 = 4. So a lot of 2s, a lot of 4s here, which the 2 is all about finding balance, and the 4 is all about setting foundations, right? Putting down new roots, foundations, stability, all of those good things. But it can also be, the 4 can also be about boredom, apathy, frustration, stagnancy, right? So we'll see what comes up here, but let's get started. Let's talk about the Sun. The Sun is perhaps the happiest card in tarot, and it's all about joy, happiness, creativity. It's about, the Sun can also sometimes be seen as the pregnancy card because it's about, kind of giving birth or kind of a burst of new life, I should say. So for some of you, because we have the Muse here with creative inspiration, and we have the Sun, and we have the High Priestess and Justice, this is my very artistic pile. I do feel that's going to be true for most of you. You're going to be there's some form of artistry that you take part in, whether it's writing, painting, drawing, music, whatever it is. You're very artistic. At the very least, you're a visionary. You have this vision for the future. It's very easy for you to tap into your imagination. It's very easy for you to think outside of the box. And with the High Priestess at the center here, there's a need to reconnect to yourself. For some of you, you've been spending too much time in the real world or the tangible world where you're kind of focused on the day-to-day life, and it can be hard not to do that, especially when we have bills to take care of, we have work to go to, but you're kind of being called back in to reconnect with yourself because it feels like you've lost a little bit of your connection to self and your connection to creativity. For some of you right now, with these cards so far, you're being called back into doing something creative, doing something fun for yourself, doing something that I feel like for some of you, you're being called to do something that you've had this idea, you've had this thought, you've had this thing that you wanted to do, and now you're being called to go back in and do it. For others of you, this is calling you to do more meditation, to spend more time with yourself, to go within more. Because again, there's a little bit of a disconnect for this pile because life has gotten very busy, very heavy, very real, if you will. I have to do these things, and I've kind of lost touch with certain parts of myself is what's coming in. For this pile, Goddess Bridget coming in as well very strongly, as well as Archangel Jophiel. So you may work with those 2 as well. But again, it's very interesting because I keep getting this sense of my pile number 2s. There's almost this sense of I need to feel more freedom in my life. I'm kind of constrained. I'm kind of, for some of you, again, it's kind of that side of the 4 where it's all about apathy, where it's all about frustration, stagnancy. Because it feels like things in your life are moving, but it also feels like it's kind of in a routine, in a rut. You may be stuck in a rut. And this is about you finding balance at this time. And in order to find balance, it's about going within, reconnecting to yourself, to your intuition, to your creativity. Some of you have Libra energy, Pisces energy coming in strong here. And we have Jesus with forgiveness, compassion, the spiritual teacher. And then we have Archangel Haniel with friendship, moon cycles, psychic ability. For my pile number 2s, you are very, very spiritually, psychically gifted, intuitively gifted. You are very close to the moon cycles here. There's a need to have a little bit more of compassion for yourself, even for other people, for some of you. Understand that not everybody is at your level, not everybody sees things the way that you do, and that's part of their purpose, that's part of their journey, I should say. For some of you, it's time to reconnect to others. It's time to have some fun. Do something for yourself. Some of you need to get out of the house as well. You've been focused on, again, the tangible, making money, paying bills, taking care of the home, taking care, for some of you, if you're a parent, taking care of your kids. So this is kind of calling you back to doing something for yourself, treating yourself, finding balance, finding your spirituality again. For some of you, in order to find balance, you're going to have to take a little bit of a break and go within. Do some meditation. I'm hearing 5 to 10 minutes a day would be very helpful for this pile. There's something that's trying to come in. There's an idea for some of you. For others of you, you know what the idea is. It's more about acting on it. But for others of you, it's an idea trying to come in. But there's no space. There's no room for it to come in. Because you're constantly on the go. You're constantly busy. There's not much time to connect to self. See what we have here. Distorted desire. Conscious desire rarely satisfy the unconscious need driving it. Yeah. For some of you, you're working very hard to get something, to get ahead at a specific area. It feels like it could be work. But this is saying, it's not about that. There's something deeper that you are seeking, and there's information available to you, but you can't quite tap into it because you're so busy, because you're so, and again, for some of you, you're busy, but it's almost like you're stuck in a routine, because it feels almost like, and respectfully, I'm saying this, almost like a hamster on a wheel, where it's busy, it's going, but it's not really exciting, and there's nothing really new happening. And then we have women supporting women. Together we can transcend our individual limitations. I also like to say people supporting people, right? But we do have Archangel Haniel with the friendship card. For some of you, it's time to outreach and let other people love, support you. Let other people help you. For someone here, it may be like you need help with like the kids, or you need help with ideas, or you need help. There's some sort of help that's needed, or some sort of, it could even be just an idea or coming up with a new way of doing things. Don't be afraid to reach out to your friends. And if someone here is saying, I don't have a friend, I don't have any friends, don't be against the idea of opening yourself up and trying to make connections. For someone here, there's a group of 3 women specifically. That could be a very helpful, and this feels like a group of friends for some here. For others of you, it could be about finding a support group. For example, if you're trying to open a business or you're working on your business, it could be a support group about, people that have businesses. It could be a support group, like a therapy support group. Whatever it is that you're dealing with, finding help, finding support. Because there's something that you're trying for, there's something that you're focusing on, and it's creating this imbalance, it's creating this sense of stagnancy because you're so focused on it. But there's something deeper driving it. Again, Pisces energy, which is the 12th house. For some of you in your natal chart, look at what's in your 12th house, because there's something that's driving it, but you're not quite seeing it clearly. There's something that's driving you and you're not seeing it clearly. Actually, I just realized. Look at this. 9 plus 1, 10. There's some sort of ending here. We have 1, 1. Some of you are seeing 2, 2, 2. Some others of you are seeing 1, 1, 1 or 11, 11. There's information trying to come in. It's just not being received. We have rebirth. Reinvent yourself. Give life to your dreams. Create a new reality. Look at that. I'm going to do that one here. All right, let's do that here and dance. Move your body to music. Dance with the rhythm of life. Manifest your dreams through dance. All right, let's talk about this pile number 2. Rebirth. We have this energy here that keeps coming up, and it's also creativity, right? We're seeing that create a new reality. And you chose the muse creative inspiration. Some of you are trying to find a new way of doing things, a different way of doing things, especially in your life. Because again, I'm getting that 4 energy, but I'm getting, instead of it being, I feel stable and secure, it's almost reaching a sense of I'm feeling stagnant and I'm feeling frustrated. And again, with the 2s, it's almost that sense of imbalance instead of feeling balanced. So there's a rebirth here, but it's about you reinventing yourself. It's about you getting creative, you taking your own power, and you making this happen. With dance, dance with the rhythm of life, allowing things to flow, allowing things to do what they want to do, because you have justice here. Justice is assured as long as you've done everything right, right? Because justice is not good or bad. It's just saying you will get what you deserve. Depending on what you deserve, that means different things for different people, but it's that energy of you're going to get what you deserve. Whatever you have put out into the universe, it's going to come back to you and you're going to get what you deserve. You're going to get what is owed to you. And I feel like for most of you, if not all of you, in this pile, you've been doing the work, but you're spinning your wheels. Because for some of you, what you are actually chasing is not what you actually want. It may seem like it is what you want. So for example, let's break this down in a more clear example. So it could be that you want to be a millionaire, right? Like you want to be a millionaire, so you're working super hard. But it's not necessarily about being a millionaire. It's about what being a millionaire would signify to you. So it's about asking yourself, why do I want what I want? Why am I working so hard for this? Continue to ask why, till you get to the bottom of it, till you figure out what it is that you actually want. Because it feels like there's something that's masking itself as the desire, but it's being driven by something else. Again, look at your 12th house in your natal chart and look at your 12th house transits, because it feels like something is happening there. And don't be afraid to connect to other people and to get support from other people. Let's look at this thriving affirmation. And it says, my strength. Strength is about calmly and intentionally facing the challenges of life. Oftentimes, feelings of regret, anger, guilt, or shame can leave you feeling weak and raw. What gives you strength? Put down this card, this is obviously not for you, and adopt a posture and make a sound that represents your strength. You can absolutely do that part. But I will put the card down for you. So again, connecting to your strengths. Figuring out, what gives you strength and also what keeps you going. Why do you want the things that you want? Why are you working so hard for those things? Then we have boundaries. Very beautiful card here. And this is about boundaries with yourselves. For some of you, working with your solar plexus and sacral chakras would be very helpful at this time, because you're able to create. You just have to get clear about what it is that you're creating and why. Why are you creating that? For this pile, it's about asking yourself why. Why, till you get to the bottom of it, and reaching out for support. So whatever it is, there's a support group, whether it's friends, family, or just a support group somewhere where they're strangers and they're going through the same things that you're going through. As far as self-care, deep breathing, reconnecting to self, that high priestess at the center there, a reconnection to self, grounding yourself, focusing on the breath, allowing information to come in, allowing the intuition to speak to you, creating space to hear the whispers of the soul. Because when you're busy and you're constantly on the go, it's not easy or even possible to listen to your intuition, right? It's not easy, or sometimes, again, even possible to tune in to what you are being told by your higher self, by yourself, by whatever it is that you believe in, universe, God, whatever, angels, spirit guides. It's time to reconnect, to plug back in. And through that, pile number 2, you will find your freedom, your liberation. Because I feel like for some of you, you want to break free from the routine that you have built for yourself. Pile number 2, that is all I have for you. If you liked the video, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. If you think it's worth sharing, please do so. And let me know what you thought in the comment section. I will be responding. Thank you so much for being here. I'm sending you so much love, so many blessings, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye for now. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you were drawn to this card with Nemetona. I believe that's how you say her name. I could be butchering it. If you know the correct pronunciation, feel free to include it below. But she is the Celtic goddess of sacred space. And on the card itself, we have serenity, meditation, solitude. So sacred space, nature, what does that mean to you is a good question to ask yourself, pile number 3, if you were drawn to this card, to this pile. So it's a general reading. That is the reminder, as always, take what resonates, leave the rest behind. And we're just getting messages that are meant for you at this time. Just any messages that are ready to come in for you. Anything that you need to know at this time. So first we have 6 of Swords. Very interesting. 5 of Cups. Look at the cards. A lot of blues, a lot of greenish colors here. And 7 of Pentacles. All right, so for my pile number 3, first thing coming in is you're in a place of transition, right? And as I'm recording this, March 2022, where I'm at least, we are going from winter to spring very soon. So just in general, we are in a place of transition, but I feel that this is especially true for my pile number 3s. You're in a place of letting go, of finding out what needs to be released and doing what needs to be done to release that. This could be belief systems, this could be ideas, expectations, what you thought you were supposed to be doing, anything that has been put on you by society, by your family, your friends, fill in the blank. But it just feels like my pile number 3s, you are in a place of transition. You're letting go and you're moving forward. You are realizing that something was not for you and you are deciding to pack up your things, right? Metaphorically speaking, pack up your belongings, take the essentials, and leave the rest behind. You are choosing yourself as you do this. And it's been a very difficult time for my pile number 3s because we have that 5 of Cups at the center there. And the 5 of Cups is a card of grief. It's a card of, you're grieving, you're sad, you're seeing past the illusion of what you thought was. And I feel that for my pile number 3s recently, you have realized that something that you thought was either for you or something that you thought was different in some way is actually not meant for you, and it's actually not what you thought it to be. So this could be a person, this could be a job, a career path, this could be a belief system, a family member, a friend. There's just this sense of something you thought something was, for example, you thought somebody was perhaps the one for you, and you realized that they were perhaps lying, or they were perhaps presenting themselves as something that they were not. Or you have been working very hard towards a career and you realize that it's actually not what you want to do. Or you were, you believe that that you had to do things in a certain way only to realize that that's not true. Whatever it is, you are seeing things clearly and you're having to leave something behind, having to move forward from something. Now, the problem with this is for some of you, you invested a lot of time and energy into this person, into this thing, whatever this is referring to. And there's a lot of sadness because of this. There's also, you invested yourself emotionally, you invested your time, you invested a lot into whatever this was. So for some of you, it's kind of like I'm having to walk away from something that meant so much for me, or something that I had put so much, it's almost like you put all of your eggs into this one basket. And it can be very hard to realize that perhaps it's not going to pan out the way that you wanted it to. But the message here from Spirit is to be patient, because there's a lot more happening that you cannot see yet. So right now for you, it's about finding, you guessed it, your sacred space. Your sacred space within, and creating that sacred space without, right? As within, so without. So creating it within, but also in your environment, in your space, having a space that you can go to, that you can connect, creating this sacred space for you to go and mourn what it is that has been lost, for you to go and, heal, to take your time. And there's no rush. I am hearing that. Things are moving, things are progressing. You cannot see how much change is coming your way. You cannot see how much is already happening behind the scenes. With the Seven of Pentacles, look at it there. He's kind of paying attention to what he can see. What he cannot see is that the roots, the foundation to this plan is so strong. Look at that. It's going to grow, it's going to flourish, but he has to trust in what he can see. And that's exactly what's happening for my pile number 3s. It's almost like I have to trust, but I can't quite see the results yet. I can't quite see the proof. I have to trust. I have to keep going, and I have to choose myself and do what's right for me at this time. That's what's coming in for this pile. I know you guys had an extra card. I don't remember from what deck, but let's see what we have here. Archangel Jeremiel with reflections, dreams, and visions. And for some of you, you are going through a dark night of the soul. You're doing some shadow work. Some shadow work needs to be done at the very least. But there's a lot of reflecting, a lot of realizing, a lot of connecting. And you are expanding your dreams and your visions for yourself. You are having to course correct and to say, this was not going to work, so what am I going to do? Where am I headed? And again, you're in a place of transition. You have left behind the old, but you're still not quite at the new yet. So you're kind of allowing things to unfold slowly. And then we have Horus with clear seeing, intention, perspective. So for my pile number 3s, a lot of you are clairvoyant, claircognizant is coming in as well. But this is all going to be about your intention. Make sure that your intent is to move forward, to find clarity, because there is clarity coming in. And make sure to focus your intent on what your vision, your dreams, and your goals for the future are. Try not to scatter yourself too thin at this time. And also be careful with the perspective. Be careful how you narrate this story. Be careful what you say to yourself, the belief system that you assign to what is happening. Because for most of you, there was something here that you were not seeing clearly. Don't be hard on yourself about that, because you were not meant to see it until now. There was a lesson there. There was a soul contract there. And I do feel that for about half of you, this could be about a person that presented to be something that they were not. And this is why you're having to kind of go within. For many of my pile number 3s, right now you are in a hermit mode. This is a time for you to kind of go within, find yourself. Who am I? Where am I headed? What do I need to let go of? What makes me happy? What do I want to create in my future? That's coming in very strongly. Let's see what else we have here. Circles with clarity begins in the eye of the storm. Yeah, some of you, your clarity started to come in when things started to when the going got rough is when the clarity came in for my pile number 3s. And it feels like you're still in that storm. For many of you, you're still in that storm, which is why you're still kind of in that transition period. You're still in these rough waters. You're still moving through it. Even if you're not connected to the thing, the person, whatever that situation was, there's still an emotional current to this that you're working through. Be patient with yourself. Give yourself space. Create that time for you to go within, for you to process what's happening, and create that, that space for meditation as well. Enough. You were born enough. Absolutely. Pile number 3, one thing that I want you to take away from this is that you are more than enough. Whatever hasn't worked out It has nothing to do with you not being good enough, or you being too much, or you not being, not being enough. It has nothing to do with you. It's just one of those things that was not meant for you. You're meant for something else. And I'm going to be honest, for most of you, for all of you, it's something bigger, something better. But it's going to take some time for you to be able to appreciate that, for you to truly be able to connect to that. And I am getting with circles there. For some of you, this has been a cycle. Different situations, but same overall message, same overall pattern. It could be different players, but same. It's almost like the same game, different players. There's definitely a pattern, and this has been repeating itself. Let's see what we have. Delight. Count your blessings and enjoy life. Take pleasure in simple things. Always expect the best. Yeah, can you expect the best? Can you expect that just because something didn't happen in the way that you wanted it to, that something good is still yet to come, and something even better than what you originally wanted is yet to come? For some of you, a gratitude journal or a gratitude practice of some sort, a meditation practice. If you're not familiar with that, look it up. I'm sure it's available on YouTube. If you have the Insight app, which is a very good meditation app, there's a lot of them there because I use it. Or you can just Google it and get an idea of what it is. And then we have miracles. Have faith that your miracle is on its way. Your prayers have been answered. Surrender the how. And that connects with this Seven of Pentacles, right? Because the Seven of Pentacles is saying there's a lot happening that you cannot see yet. Do not let impatience take control of the situation. Trust. And this is saying your miracle is on its way. What you ask for, we're going to give it to you. It's just not going to look like you thought it was going to look. It's not going to meet the exact expectation that you had for it, but it's going to be even better. Let go of the how, because for some of you, you're kind of in this energy of, but how can it happen? How will it happen? It's not going to happen for me. You're kind of trying to figure out how it's going to happen, and you're not trusting yourself. You're not trusting spirit, universe, source, and you're being asked to have some faith and to believe in miracles. For some of you, it's about getting out of your own way. And this is why, you're being asked to meditate, to go within, to take a little bit of a break, to get that sacred space within yourself, within your environment as well. But trying to find joy in everyday life. And a lot of you have to work with your perspective. If a door is closing, it's because another one is going to open. And if it's not another door, it's a window, and you are resilient enough to make the best out of it. Let's see what we have here with self-care. Oh, we have 3 self-care cards then for this group. So don't be anger's puppet. When anger shows up in our lives, it's easy for us to be its puppet. We overreact, attack others, and lash out. The next time you feel angry, what could you do differently? Could you give others permission to make mistakes, engage in an act of kindness, or try to see the world from their perspective? I feel like for my pile number 3's perspective is very important. Expanding your perspective, your understanding, how you view the world. And sometimes, it's about understanding that our path was not meant to go on with someone else's. And that's okay. And that nobody's necessarily wrong. It's just not meant to be. And that's not going to be for everyone, but that is coming in. Let's see what else we have here. Transformation. Butterfly energy. A lot of you, third eye and crown, as well as throat chakra, very active at this time. And again, transition, transformation. You are transforming. You're going through a rebirth. It's scary. It's hard. When we look at the caterpillar and it's turning into a butterfly, it's not a beautiful thing, right? It's slimy. It's messy. But the end result, that butterfly, is beautiful. And that's what's happening for my pile number 3's. So pile number 3, you were the only pile that had 2 self-care cards. Let's see what they are. Clean your space. Yeah. This is a lot about your environment and your internal environment as well. So clean your space, make space, get rid of anything that, spring cleaning. We are going towards spring. Spring cleaning, get rid of anything that no longer serves you physically, get rid of anything that, if this is about a breakup or some sort of, friendship connection, get rid of anything that reminds you of them. Create physical space, but also, cleaning up your environment, cleaning up your space is also about getting the energy moving again. For some of you, redecorate, like move your furniture around. Look into feng shui for some of you. And then we have drink tea. This is to me about being mindful, about being fully present while you are eating, while you are drinking, while you are in the moment. Fully sitting with yourself and being fully present as you drink your nice warm tea, your nice hot tea, I should say, probably, or just eating your meal. Being fully present in that moment and taking the time to ground yourself in the present moment, because that's where life happens, right? Nothing can happen in the past and the future is not here yet. It's created with today. So it's about being fully present, and especially with this pile, because there's so much happening that it's probably easy to go back into the past and to cry over spilled milk and to think about what should have been or could have been. The reality is that it was not. And you get to make the best of what you have now. But in order to do that, you're going to have to be present. And I say that with love. For this pile, working with amethyst and lavender would be very helpful at this time. But pile number 3, that is all I have for you. If you like the video, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Share it if you think it's worth sharing. And let me know what you thought. I would love to connect with you. If you'd like to book a personal reading, that information is in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.